r/AskReddit. You can freeze time, but only for 10 seconds at a time. What's the best use for this power? Be a magician. Killing mosquitoes. To stop myself from spilling my drink. Saving the things you accidentally dropped. Act like you can teleport. Pulling out a wedgie. But what is a cooldown? A second? 10? A day? Gambling. You can stop time and fudge stuff like dice placement, the balls on roulette, and most importantly, people's and your own decks while playing cards. You can choose what you'll get next and what your opponent gets. Teleporting behind my friends. Do you know these people who hide a ball under cups? I would end their careers. Thinking of a good comeback in a conversation. Whatever thing you're doing in your room, as soon as you hear the doorknob being turned, activate the power. Become an assassin. Carrying the cat away just before they vomit on the rug. You could play ping pong on your own. Run out of theater, church, movie, etc. without people noticing would make bathroom breaks so much easier. I would either be really good at boxing or UFC, or I would get hit once and forget I had a superpower. Talk shit to somebody at the top of the staircase, wait for them to start walking up the stairs to confront me, then freezing time and moving them back to the bottom of the stairs, over and over. Practicing my knife throwing. Depends how physics work in this scenario. If time is truly stopped, then the momentum and kinetic energy of every object in motion would be preserved. Meaning, if I took a moving object and moved it somewhere else, it would continue moving in the same relative direction. Basically what I'm saying is I'd be really good at darts. While doing a drowning rescue, 10 seconds can change everything. Edited. Typo. Peeing in a public bathroom. I can live blissfully knowing nobody ever has to hear me pee ever again. Dodge a bullet. You could become a top-ranked fighter. I would develop a simple magic routine. My grand finale is the teleporting man. I get little fame for doing the basic teleporting man of entering an enclosed booth and exiting from another enclosed booth. Even though people have seen it before, but it still garners attention. I ramp it to be more of a spectacle. Flashing lights. No booth so the audience can see me except for 1 second when I'm obstructed from their view. Once I'm big enough, I run a limited show that claims I would teleport for in front of their eyes. No gimmicks. No booths. No flashy technology. I teleport in front of people. I charge a lot of money. Word gets out. I charge more and extend the show. Then I start to do private shows for the wealthy elite and charge even more. Stealing french fries off of other people's plates. Realizing you'll be stuck in frozen time because the 10 seconds will never end. Definitely pranking people. For example, they throw something. I stop time and put it somewhere completely else. Drop a road roller on my dead brother's great-great-grandson. Stop a baby from throwing up on you while you carry it. Bet super athletic people you can get to a certain place, like 10 meters away, or some other short distance, faster than them. Start the race. Stop time. Get money. Just lurk near an ATM machine and pause at the moment the money comes out. The funny answer, saying Zawirudo right before doing it, and walking behind someone. The serious answer, live life as normal and use only when you are in trouble or to help others. Betting, like the tennis scam where an audience member would message an outside man the result before the umpire could log it, in order to win bets. In this instance it only requires you, and there's less risk of being too slow placing the bet. You don't need much time to steal jewelry from a jeweler. Throw knives at my enemies, whilst screaming how useless they are, then allowing time to resume whilst declaring so dramatically. In a fight I would pause time. Beat them up for a few seconds, and then leg it and hide. Placing mustaches on people. Killing josters. Take a look at your crush. Freeze time before she notices. Look away just before time becomes unfrozen. Rinse and repeat. The career I'd want to go into with that power is emergency medicine. A trauma center. This power would mark the difference between life and death. And that's a job where it would frequently make that difference. You could mug so many people if you stood right next to an alleyway corner. I would use my new power to move a French guy one step downwards in stairs every 10 seconds so that he eventually goes mad. Then I might T-pose in the middle of the street IDK. 100 meters dash. What's the cooldown? If it's relatively short, say around a second, then it's great for fighting, even against people armed with guns. After all, from their perspective, you're teleporting. They can't track your movement. So each time you stop time, they have to find you, then aim, then fire. I might try taking on a police station with that, just for fun. Dio cosplay. Turning right when cycling on the road. I can slap people without them knowing what hit them, both literally and figuratively. Wipe out the Joestar bloodline. Throwing knives yelling Muda. Shenanigans. Is the Prime Minister in town? With him. Pull his pants down. Switch his speech with the Navy SEAL propaganda. Place a sign behind his head that has that quote he made about black people. Really? Mess him up. Is there a company or a business person who is? Question mark? Are they building something? Put sugar in the cement. Write RIP Jimmy Savile on their car while they are on the road. Swap their slidder shower with a montage of their most embarrassing moments. Steal and redistribute the fancy sandwiches they had for some corporate bullshit to the homeless. Is there some wanker campaigning for some fuckwittery? While they make their big speech, draw a mustache on them with a permanent marker. Turn them around mid-speech so they are facing the other way. Put ever more ridiculous hats on them. Don't just use this power for some juvenile bullshit. Use your powers for good. It's a lovely day in the space-time continuum and you are a cunning troll. Be a nuisance. Farting. If I'm pooping and someone is knocking on the stool saying who is in there, then I will stop the time and pick up that poop and put it in his hands and then walk away. Time resumes and he has poopy hands. JoJo fandom be like, we have already touched this comment section. Make a emerald green donut out of a brat who is using a trap to kill me. When the cashier opens the cash register. Playing dice or the roulette wheel. I would tell my friend who had watched JoJo that I have Zawarudo. Then I'll show it to him. I would become an edgy anime character. I would double the time I lost in bed. Cheating during a test. Grab that last cookie before your sibling does. Zawaldoid pick up a road roller and crush my nemesis. Just as you bust a nut maybe 1/4 second after you shoot. Just that feeling of bliss. To punch people that are being shitty. Look at boobies I'd otherwise not get to look at. Be able to drop my ex's pants and underwear down to his ankles in public and run away each time until he cries. Scream the world and throw knives at a Japanese guy in the air. Depends on the cooldown time. Do I have to wait for 0.1 seconds or 2 hours between uses? It really changes what it would be useful for. 10 seconds are helpful if you need to think of a response to a question or are running away from an angry mob. Take something that somebody's holding, yeet it across the room and watch them freak out about the thing teleporting out of their hand. Repeatedly freeze time long enough to figure out your schedule for the day, then make your way to where you have to go, taking some candy along the way, and bam early/on time for where you have to be. Internet has taught that the best way to benefit from such power is to have intercourse with adult Japanese women in the gym or such sanitary facilities. Knowledge of previous simulations demonstrate that the 10 seconds should be more than enough. Zawarudo. Okay, now that the JoJo reference has gone out of the way, I'll use the extra 10 seconds to do things like come up with an argument, set up a small prank or something on people. Just common, generic stuff. Oh, and probably if I ever get bored I show the world my power and try to live as a superhero or escaping from the FBI or something because they want to experiment with my powers. I would use it to consume the blood of Joseph Joestar